Hello everyone and welcome to Nara's Tarot. Thank you very much for being here. In today's reading, we are actually going to look at what's coming up next in your studies, and this was a viewer requested video, so thank you very much for putting your suggestion in. I normally would not do a video like this just because admittedly this time of my life is very far from where I am at right now, but yeah, I realize that some of you could be students as well. But I do want to add that my readings are intended for people who are adults. So if you are a younger student and you're not able to make decisions for your life by yourself, please click out. This is not meant for you. I am speaking to my folks who are of age and studying maybe in uni or some kind of more further education. This is for you, all right? So I just felt like I needed to put that disclaimer out there. But anyway, without further ado, let's look into what's coming up next in your studies. We have Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3, so feel free to pause the video here if you'd like to take some time to connect with the piles, and otherwise I will see you at your reading. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading about what's coming up next in your studies. So before I reveal the tarot cards, the first message that I'm picking up is that for many of you, the studies, the kind of thing that you're studying right now has a lot to do with what you're going to do for work in the future. So this could mean that your degree program is very closely tied to like your future job, for instance. So if you are studying something that you know is going to be what you want to do for work in the future, this is confirmation that this is your reading, all right? So yeah, let's look into your cards now. We have the Ace of Feathers or the Ace of Swords and the Sun card in reverse. I'm gonna need a clarification for the Sun in reverse, so just give me 1 second. Oh, we have the Tower and Judgment in reverse. Okay. So I think you guys are actually doing really well in your studies. Let me just shift that candle there. But then I think you're having second thoughts about whether that's something you want to do for work, which maybe it was something that you had planned before, but the Sun card now in reverse, it feels like some of us wanting to reevaluate that decision. Maybe we feel like this job isn't really that me anymore. I don't really feel like I identify with it. And oh, hang on, I said Tower in reverse, but this is actually the Lovers. Wow, crazy. How did I even get that wrong? But Lovers and Judgment in reverse. Yeah, it's like you're falling out of love with something and really just reevaluating if this is like your path, your purpose, your destiny, which can very much be associated with the Judgment card. We've got Emperor as well. Wow. So a lot of major arcana cards showing up. The guidance coming through from Spirit here is to have more faith in yourself, in your ability to make the right decision for yourself. I think some of you withhold a lot because you don't know if you can succeed in whichever area of life that you're thinking of. Like maybe you want to explore a very different career path, but you're not sure if you're even going to succeed in that direction. This Emperor card over here just makes me feel like guidance from Spirit to be more confident in your decisions, be more assertive, and be more bold as well about your dreams and your goals and your big visions, okay? Now, with the Ace of Swords, just coming back to this, in terms of what's coming up next in your career, in your studies, right? This is exactly that. You're gonna get more clarity about your next steps. And the clarity might lead you to making a choice to move on from what you thought you would be doing, and maybe just start to like plan and find ways to like make the pivot, right? Because maybe you need to learn some new skills in order to get to the actual career you want to be, or maybe you can already start going for internships to just build up some practical experience to build up like your resume in those other areas. So that could be something that you do. Let's just get a clarification for the Ace of Swords, Strength and Justice in reverse. I just want to point out that you have so many major arcana cards, so I can see why this situation might be a bit stressful on you because it just feels very big And it kind of is. Like, it's a big life decision. So take your time to really think things through. Don't rush. You have plenty of time to figure out your life ahead, your life path, your career path, all of those things. Like, don't feel like you're running out of time. It's the big guidance as well. But clarified by strength and justice in reverse. Wow. I'm also getting a very big pressure on my head. So whenever I get this like specific feeling, I know that there's like a download coming in. Like, it's a very specific kind of like pressure that I get on my head. So I think for many of you, you're also receiving some kind of download about something that is gonna be your life path, your life purpose. It feels really big, but I also want to encourage you to take like the mental and emotional and maybe even spiritual pressure off having to figure out like something as big as your life path. Because when you're young and when we're young, it can seem like it's the be all and end all, right? But then life will have many twists and turns, and you can have more than like one career path, more than one quote unquote journey in life, right? Like, it's not just that you do this thing and it's going to be the thing for the rest of your life. So if you feel any kind of pressure about that, just take it off you and expand your horizons to know that like there are so many options out there for you. There's so many different directions you can go. And if this is not working out for you in 10 years time, you can change directions. Like, it's perfectly fine. So I just want to offer that up to you. But just coming back to our cards here, this is the strength to do something different. It's very much that, because justice here is us recognizing that we want to go in a different direction. And this direction might not be something comfortable that we do. It might be also it could be a difficult conversation for the people around us, especially if it's your parents and they are invested in your career choices. Not easy to have this conversation with them because they may not be expecting that you do it. But then strength card here is the courage to embark on those difficult conversations nonetheless. So even the Ace of Swords could be you just starting to have those conversations with the people around you. I mean, the Swords also rules after communication, right? So that could definitely be something that you're planning to do. Okay, let's grab you some oracle cards next to see what else Spirit wants you to know about your career. Your studies. Sorry, I'm always so used to saying career. But we have the Earth Ox, one with the universe, and Metal Horse, engage the heart to heal. I think some of you definitely want to do something that is more meaningful with your career. Maybe it's something about giving back to society, giving back to humanity. Maybe you want to do more like community kind of work. If that's the case, this message is a confirmation to you that could really be something that is aligned with your life path and purpose. I'm even wondering if some of you want to do something very like alternate, like quote unquote alternative. Like, maybe you want to be like healers. Either spiritual healers, or maybe you want to be like a therapist, or you want to do something more in line with like body work, somatic healing, even like spiritual stuff you want to try. That could be something that you want to do in your career, and that's gonna be probably very different from most of what you can study for, because you can't really study to be a healer, at least not in a school context, so yeah, I think if that's your calling, like, you're really gonna open up and explore like a very different path for yourself. Okay, underneath the deck we have Water Sheep, wait and listen. Yeah, so you definitely have time. Don't feel stressed to make any decisions that you are not prepared to make. And I feel like the more you just give yourself the space, the more clarity you'll get. Like, this is that kind of situation where it's best not to rush it. It's best not to feed into that urgency to make a choice. Okay. All right. What's next in your studies is self-respect and worthiness, but this card is in reverse, and the keywords are insecure, critical, codependent, and indifferent. And then we have jovial pink, and the keywords are compassion, self-care, simplification, and beauty. And underneath the deck, we have wise decision, and it's in reverse, so it says here misinformed, rethink, disarray, and overlooked. Yeah. Again, this wise decision card is definitely a lot of you like feeling that you need to rethink the choices that you've made with your studies and how that leads into like your future career path or future life path. And I just feel like, with this card in reverse, it's again a huge message of like, don't feel rushed, don't feel pressured, because it's something that you need to take your time to like think things through, to really give yourself ample space to make a choice based off of strong integrity and self-worth rather than fear. Oh, that's really the thing. Like, we need to ensure that we're not making fear-based decisions, and time pressure creates a lot of fear. So remove the time pressure and just allow yourself to like make a decision based on like, if you could just imagine, like, if time was not a problem, like, what would you do, right? How would you solve this problem? How would you overcome this challenge if time pressure did not exist? Okay, so I think many of you also need to realize that like, you are worthy of your career and your life path, right? That even if what you're studying right now doesn't lead into this career path, it doesn't mean that you're less worthy than somebody else who has invested more time or more resources into it already. Because the self-respect and worthiness card in reverse makes me feel like some of you don't really believe in yourself, that this is meant for you, or that you are the one meant for this thing. And you're doubting yourself a lot and whether or not you can succeed in this area. But this pink jovial card then brings about a lot of lightness, right? Compassion and self-care brings about a lot of just like sweet, light energy, right? And if we were to embody more of that light, innocent quality, maybe we don't have all of these considerations, right? Like, maybe I would just be able to make my choices in life from a more innocent place, from a more pure place. And I'm not considering like, oh, how much money am I gonna make? How skilled I am? How will I be able to succeed? Not that those are impure questions to ask. It's just that when we have this like pink color, or just as I'm looking at it, there's something just like innocent about it. Like, just like a child going to the playground and like deciding to like build a sandcastle. You're not really thinking much about it, but like a child can make a masterpiece, right? Just by them playing. So play with the idea more, take away the very adult kind of stresses about it, and in that sense, you might make the most adult decision you've ever made. Like, sometimes when you're trying to make an adult decision, you end up making the most childish decision because it's very fear-based. But if we were to let go of the adulting and be more childlike, we can actually probably make a very adult and wise decision that is more wisdom-led, right? Okay, so let's grab you some more oracle cards, see what else is in store for you. Whoa, just dropped it. Let me pick up the card. Oh, we have new moon and full moon in Virgo. Okay, not surprised if some of you are Virgos there, but if you have strong Virgo placements in your chart, this could be another confirmation for you. But a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo, and you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. I think both cards are very relevant for you, especially you are good enough. Like, that's a very big message coming through in this reading. And a time to give rather than take is very interesting. Let me see what's here. Underneath the deck, we have a time for healing. I think one way I could interpret this card here is it's time to give your challenges, or surrender them, I should say, over to spirit, over to source, and not put more pressure on yourself by taking in more stress on you. So surrendering could be something that really helps you to to let go of needing to make a very ultimate and right decision on something as big as your life path, but just surrendering to the universe, surrendering to spirit, that the right decisions and the right path will open up to you at the right time. So if it's not clear yet, means it's not the right time. So we don't have to stress. Okay, we don't have to stress at all. So it's a time to give and surrender all these things over to spirit and just be in a state of more emptiness so that you can get inspired by the divine guidance coming through. All right, let's get you some final affirmation cards for your reading. We have here, forgiveness helps me to let go and move on with my life, opening up to new and loving experiences. Oh, okay. The final message here is you need to forgive yourself for the choices you made in the past. Some of you might be really regretting the study choices that you made because it's not anywhere close to what you want to do. The message here is that you're actually really good at what you do. Like, you're really good at the thing that you're studying, and also you're really good at the thing that you want to do with your life path and your career path. So consider that. Consider that maybe like they're not so disconnected, that you're actually doing things that you're good at already, and it's just a matter of you discovering new interests and new things. So you haven't wasted any time. You haven't gone on a big detour. In fact, this self-discovery process could be very essential to your overall growth. So just consider that it's all part of the bigger plan, right? A time to give, a time to surrender. So forgive yourself for whatever choices you made in the past. It can help you to move on. Now we have, I like to take care of myself with love through rest, play, movement, and positive thinking. This is what's underneath the deck, all right? So pile 1, this is what I see for your reading. Thank you very much for being here. I hope this brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you in future as well. Bye now. Hello pile 2 and welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off with tarot cards, and then we'll grab a bunch of oracle cards to look at what's next in your studies, okay? So the very first card we have is the 7 of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so pile 2, I do wonder if some of you feel misaligned with what you're studying and you're trying to find a different way, a different path out of your current study to career pathway, meaning that maybe you want to change courses or you want to explore a very different career path, and that requires you to do very different things. Because the 7 of Swords here with the keyword betrayal, I do feel like many of you are feeling like, this study path that you're on doesn't really match the purpose and meaning that you would like to have in your life. So what's coming up next for you with your studies is definitely a lot more clarity about your next steps, about your path ahead, about what you would really like to do. And the Ace of Swords, I feel like it's, for you, a very enlightening thought to have, because you might have had a lot of very conflicting or opposing opinions within yourself or from the people around you about what to do about career and studies. But this Ace of Swords kind of like really just cuts through all of that noise and all of the uncertainty and gives you a very clear answer. So if you have been praying for answers, if you have been asking yourself what you really want to do and finding a little bit challenging to get a clear sign, this here is a big message from Spirit that you will receive the answers. Don't worry too much about it. It will come to you, okay? So let's grab you your oracle cards to see what else Spirit wants you to know. Whoa, okay. That kind of scared me there. We have Fire Tiger, share your gifts, and Wood Tiger, powerful beginnings and progress. And this tiger is so cute. Okay, so pile 2, you're also encouraged to share your gifts. And that includes your talents, that includes things that you are good at, right? And oftentimes, like, you would think that if you're good at something that you would want to do it, but a lot of us actually maybe don't acknowledge that we have gifts in a certain area. We don't think we're that good in something. So we keep putting ourselves down. We keep giving ourselves excuses not to do something. We say that we're not ready, or we're not confident of ourselves or something, right? And we don't end up doing what we have been gifted from the universe, right? From spirit, to be able to accomplish our life purpose in this lifetime. So the big message for you also is to learn to lean into your gifts. And I do want to say that this is, or it can be, a process, because just to speak from my own experience, it wasn't entirely smooth sailing to finally acknowledge that, hey, I really want to do tarot readings, right? Like, although I've always loved divination, and it was like staring me in the face that I love to do readings, and I was doing readings even before I realized I was doing readings. Like, can you imagine? Like, I never thought that it would be a possible career path, right? And it was so near yet so far from me. So sometimes, like, our gifts are so obvious to us that we don't consider them gifts, but maybe to other people, they would have never thought of doing what you want to do, and they will look at you as though you have something unique to offer, but you may not think that way because you're doing it every single day, you know? So I want to encourage you that this can be a process of self-acceptance and more self-acceptance of who you are and what you bring to the world. And it's okay to take your time. It's okay that there might be seasons of confusion, but the message also is to step into these powerful beginnings and progress with the wood tiger here, because as much as we can take our time to deliberate and to think about our next steps, one of the best things we can do to give ourselves clarity is to take action, is to go and try it out, is to go and see if I can do this thing, right? And so boldness to just go for it is next for you with your studies. We have fire ox, a beacon of light. This is so beautiful, because again, with the Ace of Swords, I do feel like it's coming through as a beacon of light. It's clarity. It's illuminating a very important answer over to you. Okay, let's see. What else Spirit wants you to know. We have here point of view in reverse. Oblivious. We were literally just talking about it. Yeah, it's like you're oblivious to your own gifts. And we need to start seeing it. Okay, so oblivious, separate, dispassionate, and ignorance are the keywords here. Let's get you one more. And we have perfect timing, auspicious, clockwork, planning, and patience. So timing is on your side. You have divine timing with you. I think some of you could be worried that you are maybe late to the game, or that you may have to play a lot of catch up compared to your peers who are already doing what you want to do, but you are in perfect timing, in perfect alignment. And so it's also kind of like contrasting with the Seven of Swords here, because with the keyword betrayal, it can feel like, everything is not in alignment. But then we do have perfect timing here to symbolize that maybe this is just also our perspective, it's just our point of view. But in fact, this whole experience of you finding out what you're misaligned with, finding out what you then want to do, is in fact the divine plan. It is in fact the best thing that could have happened to you, right? We never know. So a lot more self-acceptance, a lot more acceptance of the situation could really help you to gain confidence and to just move on without feeling guilty, or without kind of like getting trapped into the past or into self-blame. Okay, so change your point of view, look at yourself differently, look at the situation differently, and realize that you are in perfect timing. Underneath the deck, we have energy, healing in reverse, and it says here antiquated, neglect, lethargic, and malaise. So if some of you want to be healers or want to do some kind of spiritual work, this card here is definitely a confirmation of that. And also, this could also be like a, what do you call it, like a sign or a message of doing some healing work on yourself. And I use that term very broadly, but this could mean like healing through therapy or healing through talking to a friend or healing through any kind of like relaxing, calming activity to take your mind away from a very stressful, intensely mentally draining situation to allow you to gain clarity. Okay? Let us grab more oracle cards next. All right, we have hold your vision, fixed moon, emotions are running high, super moon, and a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Yeah, you are definitely reaching the point where you get the answer with the fiery climax approaches card. And I think take it easy upon yourself if you feel like your emotions are really high right now because you're dealing with a lot of dissatisfaction or disillusionment and you feel very frustrated about the situation in your life. That's take it easy with that and hold your vision as to what you really want to do. I think this card is such a like big sign from spirit to continue to have faith that there's something there that's calling you. Like you're not crazy. Like there is a reason why you're so drawn to it. So hold your vision. You will get the answers for it soon. Okay. Underneath the deck, we have show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Yeah, this is very much like the share your gifts card. Like it's really time for you guys to like show up authentically and be proud of who you are and what you can offer. Okay, let's get you some final affirmation cards. We have here, it is easy for me to attract all that I need into my life. I do this by relaxing and trusting that things are going to work out perfectly. Nice. And underneath the deck, we actually have, forgiveness helps me to let go and move on with my life, opening up to new and loving experiences. Okay, so pile number 2, this is what I see for you. Thank you very much for being here. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you were seeking, and I look forward to reading for you in future as well. Bye now. Hello pile 3 and welcome to your reading. So we are going to start off with tarot cards and then we'll grab a bunch of oracle cards to look at what's coming up next for you in your studies, okay? So we have the Chariot in reverse and Strength in reverse. Okay, so this reading is a viewer requested one. So if the person that requested this reading chose this pile, then I do know that this pile is for you. Like you have your answer here. There's something about the Chariot where it's not, some kind of situation isn't moving forward. So if you have travel plans for your studies, like you want to study abroad, if you want to move to a different school, or if there's some kind of transfer situation that you want to fulfill, the Chariot here reverse is a straightforward answer that some energies are a little bit stuck in that area. And I actually would like to grab some oracle cards, not oracle cards, but tarot cards to clarify. And I wasn't really focusing, but I'll just keep this out here. We have the Six of Wands, but let's clarify the Chariot, the World in reverse, and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so the first message with the Six of Wands is to not make this like a stain on yourself that you failed to do something, or that because you weren't successfully, if you didn't pass the application, that somehow this is some kind of like failure. It's not. In fact, with the Six of Wands and then the World and the Ten of Pentacles here, I do wonder if like this is a case of rejection is God's protection kind of vibes, where you're meant to do something different. You're meant to put your energy into a different program or a different course or a different path, and Spirit is helping you to direct you to a better and more aligned purpose. Okay, so it's not easy to deal with rejections, I know, and like sometimes these things don't really comfort a person when they are already dealing with a rejection, but keep that in mind and keep an open mind and heart that maybe there is something better in store for you, and we don't have to harp on this one rejection, okay? And let's get you a clarification for Strength in reverse. All right, we have the Five of Cups, yeah. That was exactly what we were just talking about, because strength in reverse also feels like somebody at their breaking point, like you feel like you want to give up. You feel like you don't have any strength left in you. There's no more resilience, there's nothing more to look forward to. And we're feeling very disappointed in ourselves with the Five of Cups in reverse here. Three of Wands, yeah. There are better things ahead for you, for sure. Like, you are going on a different direction. It's just not this one. There's something else that's more aligned for you. So don't worry too much about it. Don't stress too much about it. It's gonna be okay. Let's just get you one last clarification, okay? All right. We have the Nine of Cups and the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Wands underneath the deck. So some of you might feel a little bit lost when it comes to your studies. Like, now that this situation is maybe not going to work out, then, well, what is the next thing for me? You might feel a little bit lost about it. You might also feel very kind of like you've lost all meaning and purpose, because that so much of your drive was dependent on this situation working out, this study abroad, this transfer program working out, with this Chariot in reverse. But the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, I'm also I feel like you can afford a break. Like, you've been going so hard on yourself and so hard on driving certain outcomes when it comes to your studies, that it's okay to take a mini pause. It's okay to not go so hard maybe next semester when you're back in school. Give yourself some breathing room. Give the people around you some breathing room, maybe. It's okay to take a chill semester, okay? And maybe in that kind of like downtime, you can regroup and kind of like go back to the drawing board and figure out, okay, what then would I like to do? And it's okay to start, quote unquote, again. Like, it's not that you are completely scraping the plan and having to start over. That's not really what I'm picking up. But I think it's more so that like one milestone shifted. So you just need to like plan differently for your next step. But overall, the path is still like, it's still there, like it's not that you've been thrown off the path, or that you are gonna be so far behind your peers, or that something really bad's gonna happen. Like, it's not that. So if you really feel so terrible about yourself, just remind yourself that like, hey, I'm still doing great, things are still doing quite well. Like, take a stock check of all of your achievements and just remind yourself that it's not the end of the world, and you can figure out like what other things that you can do that can bring you the successes that you seek in your studies and beyond, okay? So that was the tarot part of the reading. Now let me grab you your oracle cards. Okay, and I just dropped that card, so give me 1 second. But we have your Metal Tiger, release your attachments. Yeah, this is releasing attachment to like this very specific thing having to work out and broadening your horizons. And the Metal Red, be aware of projection. So good question to ask yourself if you are projecting a lot of this anxiety from somebody else, like you're taking on their anxiety, or you're taking on their worry about the future, and their worries about your future, their worries about your career, and you're projecting that onto yourself. A lot of times we can end up taking on other people's emotions that are not ours, okay? Underneath the deck we have Water Rat, focus on your vision. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, the overall vision still stands. It's just one part of the plan needs to change. So things are not that bad as they seem. All right. Let's grab you some other oracle cards now. Whoa, okay. But we have your energy healing and Uriel Red. I'm noticing that there's also a healing keyword under Uriel. So Yeah, you gotta give yourself some TLC. I feel like if you face this failure or this rejection, if it happens and you get really, really hard on yourself and you start to spiral, this is just a reminder to like, okay, when that happens, just take a step back, do what you can to heal, to process, to let go and discharge those emotions. And then there's so many ways to heal. So do what is best for you. I mean, there are formal healing therapy, and energy healing sessions, or even like some spiritual work that you could do. But then there's also things that you can do just for yourself, right? Like taking a walk in the park, like discharging these negative emotions to nature, talking to a friend, even like there are ways that you can help yourself to feel not so sunken into the disappointment. And this is a reminder from spirit to like remember to do that, if you feel really, really terrible about something. Okay, we have shower of prosperity underneath the deck. Again, this is like a big reminder from spirit that like this one rejection, like don't let it affect you too much, because like overallly speaking, like things are still working out. Okay, like there's still good things coming towards your way. It's just one rejection. Don't let it be the center of your attention, because there are other things coming in. So shower of prosperity, you're gonna receive not career, but blessings with your student life. Okay, so I would not be too concerned if I were you about this one rejection. Now let's get you more oracle cards next. Okay, we have work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio first. We have a lot of cards, but the energy is gaining momentum. Confidence is your key to success, and the end of a tough cycle approaches. Okay, you definitely are kind of like pushing through a lot of fear-based narratives, I think, in this process with work through your fears. And the fear-based narratives aren't just about a fear of failure or a fear of rejection, but I am picking up that there's this broader fear of like my career, my life, my future not working out because maybe of the state of the world right now. And if I'm not striving hard enough, if I'm not achieving more, I'm gonna really be unattractive, to the job market or something like that. There's a lot of pressure. And interestingly, the answer that spirit has to these fears are the fact that energy is gaining momentum. Like instead of saying that, hey, like don't worry about your fears, it's all gonna be like, like you gotta push through them or something like that. Like they're saying that actually look closely, because the energy is gaining momentum. You're gonna step into, the spotlight with the new moon and Leo card. Confidence, stepping into that confidence, and some kind of tough situation will close. Okay, so things are not as bad as they seems to be the message over here. Underneath that, we have conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse, again, another sign that there's some kind of like ending and some kind of nice way that everything comes together. So remind yourself not to feed the fear, but put energy into like the positive blessings coming through. All right, let's get you some final affirmation cards to see what else is gonna happen. We have here, today everything is unfolding according to a greater plan. Yeah, everything we've been talking about in this reading. And it says here, my patience is being rewarded, my turn will come. Holy shit, I love that for you. And underneath the deck we have, my intuition is strong and clear, I trust the voice within. A powerful message again. So pile 3, this is what I see for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope this reading brought you the clarity that you're seeking, and I look forward to reading for you in future as well. Bye now.